Okay. Last week I was working on these sort of like seamless loop guys, which I was not super familiar with, but now I know. And what I found is that I liked them, but I think I prefer... Let me find this. It's not a good example because it was trying to figure out the concept of having the number of frames in a rotating thing versus a number of frames of the animation make something look like it's moving in a direction, which was, I think this one, let me get... No, it was the next one. It was 03. Yeah, okay. This guy. So this one, it looks like the wave's just moving in a direction, but it was, if you have something still, let's say you were to have something still if you have something that repeats, in this case, I believe it's 8 times, and you rotate a seventh of an animation, then it will look like it's moving in a direction, even if you repeat it evenly, because the total length of the physical thing is equal, but if you divide it in a different manner than how you're advancing the frame, then you'll end up with something where it creates the illusion of movement. And I was interested in this form because I've mostly been doing paper animations that are either flat and circular and rotating in that direction, or they're layers and they're flat. But I haven't done much with animations that are circular in this sort of form, that are going in the round, that are both flat and three-dimensional. And I have the opportunity to have these be concentric circles, like you have the outside and then move in and in. And that's what I want to mess around with this week. So to get into that, I will open up Cuddle in a browser and sort of build out at least one of these animations, and then maybe a second one or a third one. Maybe what I'll do is just have them at different frame rates. Maybe, okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3. One that has one more frame than what the base animation is, one that has one fewer, and one that has an equal amount. So let's just, for the sake of ease, I'll probably work with 8 frames and sort of go from there. So let me open up Cuddle in a browser, just its own deal. Cuddle.xyz. I'm doing this where you can't see. New blank project. And let me name this appropriately for what I'm doing. Today is 2024, February 12th. And this is Paper Rings 01. Okay, let me come back over to OBS. Go to Firefox, and we're going to have this as an option and showcase what I'm working with. So this is just a blank project, and let me flip this tape. Get some music in the mix. So first what I'm going to do is let's get frame num. This is going to be 8. Paper length is 10.5. Then paper height. Let's just make it, how tall do I want this to be? I'll make it 2 inches. And I might change that with time. Now I need a let's see, pinhole I will need, which is going to be 0.085. connection tab length is going to be 0.25. Active animation length is going to be paper length minus connection tab length minus let's see, I need to make a one that's higher up. This is going to be ring length offset, and let's make this right now. Let me do another thing. This is ring num, which in this case I'm doing 3. Ring length offset is going to be let's say I'm just gonna make it 1. Minus ring length offset times ring instance. Do I need to bury this? You know what? We'll need to come back and add a thing here. So let's delete this parameter. All right. Now next stage, this will be animation. No. I also need to have, what is this? How do I want to structure this? I want to make it where I can just make a single adjustment and it'll adjust it across the board. Which might be embedding this in a larger thing, which frame number will be constant. Ring number will be constant. Paper length will be constant. Paper height I will adjust across the whole board. Pinhole is constant. Ring length offset, that's okay to be constant. Connection tab length. Now let's come into this particular component. So I'm going to make this active animation. You know, let's get rid of this parameter. Active animation length will be okay. I'm also realizing that I don't need to include these tabs on every iteration, the animation tabs. This is going to be paper length minus connection tab length That's okay for now, but I need to delete this parameter and ring animation frame is frame num. Okay. That'll have to change in a different spot. Let me build out one and see if I can't just have it act as a repetition and then have that instance change. Okay. So this is going to be, this position is negative 0.5, negative 0.5. No, let's make it 0.5. Okay, scale is going to be active animation length, and the height will be paper height. Let's rename this to be, you know what, that's fine. Okay, that's what I'm working with as a base position. Now let's pull in a guy that's just a single point. Let's take this is going to be active. Oh, this will be frame width, which will be active animation length divided by ring animation frame. And let's, how do I want to, so this is kind of what I was dealing with before. Okay. I can envision this. This will be easier. I don't know what it is. Okay. Let me take this anchor, and its position is paper height. Nope, this is just 0. 0. This is negative paper height divided by 2. And let's do animation. Let's do wave height. This is easier. Wave height is going to be 0.75. And this, oh, I need to throw in, just for my sake of understanding things, time. That's just how I know things to work. Plus sine 360 divided by and ring animation frame. Right, because this needs to reconnect after 8 frames. I'm sort of lost in my head a little bit on this. Times wave. Oh wait, no, this is times time plus 0 times wave height. So that's doing its thing over 8 frames. So let's get back to 0. And let's have this modify linear repetition. Repetition is ring animation frame minus 1. Displacement is frame width divided by ring animation frame. customize each repetition, and to the anchor time plus rep. Linear repetition, let's just make this actually, I was correct on this. This is, I need this to be modify linear repetition ring animation frame. Displacement is frame width. This is correct, but this linear repeat needs to come one sooner. Modify linear repeat a second time. Repetition is ring animation frame. Displacement is frame width. And let's customize each of these repetitions. Alright, what I am realizing is this needs to be +1. Not on that one. I need this as the repetition needs to be 8, but I need to actually -1. This is not exactly, wait, I think that this is divided by -1, and this is rep and rep 1, come back to this anchor, and plus rep 1 times ring animation frame -1.
Everybody, let anyone can pour and be the host.
Okay. I'm overcomplicating this because this is just sort of moving a little bit. I could make this just a shape and make it one more, one less, to make it sort of moving in either direction. But what I want to do is have something. I need to stop thinking about this as a continuation. Let me just think about this as a cutout section and go from there. So I'm going to pull in a rectangle. This is going to be -0.5. This is going to be 0.5. Position is 0, 0. Scale is paper height. Nope. Paper height. The width is going to be frame width. This is just so I can see what's happening. Linear repetition. The displacement is frame width. The total number is ring animation frame. And all I'm doing with this is I'm creating a loop that exists within this space, and then I will take that and increase the number of frames and decrease the number of frames by 1. But I'm just going to do some paper cutout that can fit within this sort of space using similar techniques that I've done in the past, but with far fewer frames, which might mean more repetition. So instead of having it fit perfectly, has this got to fill? No, good. Okay, let's lock this guy for the time being. Come over here and is that a better way to go about this? To just sort of create this iteration, and I think it might be. Okay. Instead of structuring this like I'm doing the whole thing at once, I'm just going to focus in on this little space in here and make an animation that works within this little square that we're working with here. So instead of making this a full length guy, I'm just going to have it be sort of within this square here. This first iteration, turn off this linear repeat, get rid of this rectangle, and we're going to make an animation that exists in this space, and it'll be easier, and I'll be able to loop it, and because this is a solid paper cutout, I can just merge it all together at the tail end of things and put that in a format where I can add the necessary tabs and stuff later on. And this will be a good starting point, I think. So what I'm going to do is take this guy and let's just have it do, let me make a parameter. This is circle and a circle diameter, and this will be frame width divided by 4. So let's come over here and add that into, that also means I'm going to reset this to 0, 0 because it's easier to animate with everything there. And this is 0, 0, not 90, 0. The scale of this is a circle diameter, frame width divided by 4. So now we have just this little circle guy, and I'm going to modify linear repeat, and for the time being, that's fine. Customize each rep. We're going to have this be a component circle rep num, and this will be, we'll mess with it, but we'll have it at 16 for the start. Circle rep num. Each has a customized repetition. Actually, let's make the displacement 0. And now let's take this position and make this be let's come and do circle any height, which will be paper height minus 0.25. This is an easy enough starting point. And add one of these, which is going to be circle any width, which will be the frame width minus, I'm gonna, this is plus and minus, so I need to actually take this full thing and, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it at that, it's easier, minus 0.25. And that way it'll never come into issue. So let's come to this rectangle, and this position is going to be 2 more variables that I'm going to add in here. 1, 2. This is going to be width rep num. We'll start out with 1 just so I get this all set correctly, and this will be height rep num, and this will just be 1 for the moment. Come over here. The position is going to be sine 360 divided by ring animation frame divided by circle rep num times time plus 0 times, this is actually 360 times width rep number, and then this is times circle any width. So now we're at 0. Let me check something. Is this... All right, I need to divide this by 2. All right, that is frame width minus 0.25 minus any circle diameter divided by 2. And now plus rep. How did I do this before? I need to remember the offset has to be... Let me pull up a previous animation. Oh, not what I'm looking for. Let me turn this off for a second just in case I'm showing anything that I shouldn't. My projects, I always get tripped up on how I structured this in the past. So the best example of this is like the circle guys that are moving like this. Okay. Let this load a little bit. Okay. So this is frame circle. Okay. Single frame width minus dot scale times sine 360 divided by horizontal number. Yeah. Divided by frame divided by dot num plus rep 1 times time minus rep. Okay, so where in here is the rep that I'm looking for? It's rep 1. Okay, this is rep that I'm really looking for. Time minus rep. Okay. So I've got that one. Ring animation frame. Wait. No, I think I just need to. Alright. I think it's something where I overthink bits. Don't divide by circle rep num. I think this is actually what I need. Alright, so let's come to time. Alright. 360 times with rep num. times, yeah, divided by frame number, divided by dot num plus rep1. That's unnecessary for what I'm getting at. Times time. Okay, is this correct? If we're only dealing with 8, okay, let me try something. Let me copy this and then make it so it's height. Copy sine 360 times, wait, no, this should be cosine times height rep num ring animation frame times time minus rep circle any height divided by 2. I'm only trying to get this from point A to point B. This is always tripping me up, and I don't know why. Divided by frame number, divided by dot number. Okay, I am missing a component. Okay. Divided by circle rep num. What does this do with time? Funny stuff. I'm always tripped up on this. Okay, so we have what should be happening is I should have over the course of 8 frames, I should animate from point A to point B. And for that to work, I've done this before and it always confuses me when I get back to it. So single frame width minus dot scale divided by 2. That's the active space. Times sine 360 divided by horizontal number, that's its own deal, divided by frame number, divided by dot num times time minus rep. Okay, so let's take this guy, cut it, and put this at the front end. Times sine divided by h num divided by width num. Okay, this is ring animation frame, width rep num divided by circle rep num times time minus rep times 2 times 3 times 4. It should be making a loop. What am I really missing? I don't know. Let me write this out. Let me see if I have another one of these. I'm just confusing myself with this. So what I have is sine 360 divided by frame number. Which means over the course of 8 frames, it goes from 0 to 1 to -1 and back. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to decrease that distance that it's trying to, which means that that's buried in the divided by frame number divided by, let's close out of this. Stamp it, now let's leave the page. Okay. Let me get a new guy and let's just have this position. Let's make it this. Sine 360 divided by frame num. Divided by 1 times time minus rep. This doesn't have modify linear repeat, customize each rep, component B, time 1. Expected token, sine 360, and make this linear repeat. Okay. Time minus rep. Okay. And as time goes on, this is making its position, but what I really want is this offset. I want the total distance being covered to be, I want it to be, why do I struggle with this so much? Okay, I struggle with it like each time, and I don't know why, that I get it once, and then I don't know what I'm doing. Cuddle my projects. I have another instance of this where it's fewer things happening. But it creates that sense of like slower motion. What is this guy? Let me look at this one. This has rotational repeat. Not what I'm looking for. What I want is I want to create the same thing that I've been dealing with, which is essentially the number of frames that I'm working with to be cut into a smaller portion. So by minus rep okay, divided by this, divided by circle rep num, but I need these positions to be offset. Minus rep times circle rep number. So I'm just negating something, aren't I? Yeah, this isn't what it should be. Let's keep this at 16 and mess around with the time again. Where is this working? It isn't working, but it's kind of doing something. That's helpful. Do not know what's happening with this. Okay, let's make this 1. Okay, this is going from here. And it should be where it is at 12. Or am I just confused by the sheer number of these? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Circle any height divided by 2. Need to fix that. Minus any circle diameter divided by 2. Frame num. Ring animation frame. 360 divided by width, or times width. You know what? Let's just make this. It is set to 1 right now. Rep num divided by ring animation frame divided by circle rep num times time minus rep times circle rep num. Got something going. So let's take time 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's going half the distance it should be. It should be going. It's taking 16 frames to do what I'm asking it to. That's correct. Circle rep number is 16. Oh, this is doubled up. I'm not doing this right now. Okay. Let's see if Something's happening here. I think what was happening is, I think my math was fine. I think my issue was maybe that I was dealing with too many circles. No, because this is going too slow. Why am I struggling with this every time? Let's say I just want it to rotate one time, so that's 360. But actually, that's 1. So over the period of time, that's 1. So divided by frame num times time. But now I actually only want it, let's say I want to have it go from point A to point B. That's half the distance divided by 2 times time. What if I only want to go third? Then divided by 3. So 360 divided by frame number divided by instance number times time. And that's for this guy. Now I need one that is offset on time. So if I have this here, and I want it to move to here, I need to have time minus rep times, now this might be wrong, ring animation frame minus 1. Closer, but I don't know what I'm doing. Let's make this 1. Actually, 0. And let's see if with a smaller number. Okay, 0. Now, over the time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That, I think, is working. Let's increase this frame number. I guess 8. That is wrong. What about having fewer of these is right? Do not know. Okay, why with 5 did it work? Circle with times sign times width rep number. Right now we're just dealing with 1. By ring animation frame, that's divided by 8. That gives us the thing there. Divided by the circle rep number should give us that instance. Time minus rep times, it should just, or is this just correct here? Did I just, really don't know what's happening. That makes sense? Am I just throwing an extra thing in there thinking that I'm doing too much? 16, 0. Okay. I think I got it. Let's come back here. I'm stuck in my head. I don't know why it always takes me so long to figure this out. Circle any height divided by 2 times cosine 360 times height rep num divided by ring animation frame divided by circle rep num times time minus rep times ring animation frame. Looks good at this point. Let's see if this looks the same when it's 8. That's nice. I was getting frustrated with that. Okay. Makes sense. Don't know why it trips me up so much, but it does at times, and I never know what to do with it. Okay. So if I want to have more, I can.
Lesson 98. To ask versus to ask
You get
for.
weird shapes happening with
Lección
this.
98. Preguntar
Too
versus
many height reps.
I always ask for a good
Let's just make
translation.
this.
Yo siempre pido una buena traducción.
What does this do? Oh, it's just. They both go twice. 1 and 3. And I'm just curious if I want to mess with the. Okay, someone's messed up in the positioning of stuff. It's too many. Just gonna make this. What's the size of these? Okay, now let's take this. difference. Okay. Modify. Linear repeat. And frame width is determined by that. Partition. Ring animation frame. Displacement is frame width. Customize each repetition. This is rep 2.
Perfecto.
I have not sung at the party.
Yo no he cantado en la fiesta.
This looks like nothing, but it should be something. Let me get rid of this. Make sure that I'm streaming. Currently I am. Okay. Oh, I meant to delete, not duplicate. Delete that component. Delete that component. Now, that's that deal. That's doing that deal. Oh, that's just what I do. Okay, let me. I don't need to. That was just a test of things. Don't actually need to do that duplication bit. I would rather pull that into its own deal and not have it isolated in here. So let's get rid of that and just make sure that time still works. This is 0. This is 8. Looks the same. These do not touch, so I am good. Let's delete this component. Create a new one. Pull this in. And time. This might be easier if I do these isolated. Okay. Component, modify, linear repeat. Should I have not? No. Displacement is okay. Actually, I am going to do what I just undid.
He has confused one girl with the other.
Él ha confundido a una muchacha con la otra.
Circle. Do not need this. Minus rep 2. It's going to say it doesn't exist because it doesn't currently exist. Modify linear repeat. Customize each rep 2. And this displacement is going to be frame width. Repetitions is nope. Ring animation frame. Let's come back here and this rep 2, which means that let me just increase this to see that it repeats back. Yep. So let's delete that. Make this modified Boolean union just for my own sake. Component B, bring this in. How am I thinking of this? I haven't done this in a minute, and so it's tripping me up a bit. Position is negative. Paper height divided by 2. Position is it not? Does it not allow me to active animation length, paper length minus. I can do these one by one, but I'd rather have it be responsive. Let's come in here and make this 10.25. As that decreases, it's responsive. Okay. This is 8. So if I come in here,
Has been trading with Canada for a
time
long
over
time.
here is 0.
Hace mucho tiempo que los Estados Unidos comercia con el Canadá.
All right. I think there are things that I think need to be embedded that are not. Let's revert to default value here. Wave height. This isn't used at all. So if I select this one, active animation length. Let me try modify linear repeat 0 paper height. Customize each rep, and let's come into here and do minus minus ring length offset times rep. Cool. Ring animation frame. Did this read it as 98? Because that's going to run slow. La, la, la. Yeah, I read it as 98. I would like this to be 9. Minus rep. Do not know why that's offsetting that just a tiny bit.
They accomplished it 1 week ago.
Okay, it's only the exterior
Hace
one
una
that
semana que
needs
ellos lo lograron.
more stuff. Now, okay, this works. It just takes me a minute to get in the headspace of it. Linear repeat. 3. Should be more than enough for me to start into for now. Do not know why. This starts to creep a little. Why is this running so poorly? This shouldn't be shifting. I don't know why. I guess when it gets smaller. Let's come back in here. Let's leave this component that's going to freak out. Let's get rid of this element. Get rid of this. It's going to be like, where's rep 2? And I'm going to be like, nowhere. Let's pull this in here. Let's make its margin -0.5. Don't know why it does that. But let's
Conversábamos.
modify linear repeat.
Hacía horas
Customize
que
each
nosotros
rep.
conversábamos.
Repetition.
He had been organizing that program
is-
for years.
Well, this
Hacía
is why I
años
did it
que
the
él
other way.
organizaba ese
Because
programa.
this changes. This will be frame num. Displacement is. Can I not? Okay, I was in a better place before. I keep doing something being like, it'll fix, but it's not a constant. Don't know why this freaks out so bad. Let's get rid of this linear repeat. And it's just 8 by default. actually come in here and make this default be 9. Mess with that a little bit. And then come in here and let's add some tabs. Actually, let's come in here and add some tabs. Because this is going to be spoke length is paper length divided by pi divided by 2. And then I'll just add the little tabs to the new dude.
Plural.
And then tape the other ones down, I guess. That's what I'm doing.
Temprano esta noche. Comed más temprano esta noche.
And I'll add a glue
Let's
tab
eat
at the
here.
end. Okay.
Comamos aquí.
So this is folding out. This would land it right on the edge. Plus connection tab length divided by 2. And so this is going to be, let's make this -0.5, -0.5. The scale is connection tab length for the width, and the height is spoke length. This position is negative frame width divided by 2. And the height is paper, not length, per height divided by 2. And this will be modify linear repeat. The number of repetitions is frame num divided by 2. And the displacement is active animation length divided by frame number times 2. Right. These should be equidistant. It's not super important at this point, but okay. These are constant. The other guys will only be on one of them. Let's actually pull in a circle. This position is negative frame width divided by 2. Plus what is this called? Connection tab.
Ota.
Replace the English words. Formal.
And this is going to
Reemplace las
be
palabras inglesas.
active animation length. Animation length divided by pi. Okay, something's up with this. divided by 2. Where is spoke length, paper length? That's wrong. This should be delete that parameter in the component. There should be spoke length. Paper length divided by pi divided by 2. So paper length divided by pi divided by 2. So why is this circle so far off for position? Oh, because I'm forgetting paper height divided by 2. That's what I'm forgetting. Okay, scale of this should be pinhole. Modify Boolean difference, and then have this repetition, and I just want to see if I copy and paste this and change the position. Nope, I just want to move this. If this falls correctly. And it looks like it does. These need to be present on all of these. So let's join these together. And that is true on this guy. Modify transform repeat. Repetition is 3. Position is 0. Paper height. Rotation is 180.
Don't say that. Familiar, plural.
No
2,
digáis eso.
5, 6. Actually shift a tiny bit. You know what? Let's get rid of this transform repeat. I'm just gonna do a linear repeat and make this be paper height is 2, and the rep number will be 3. And now customize each rep, come into this component, active animation length, 9 minus rep, .5 minus rep times ring length offset. I believe this works, but I think this would work if the total number of frames is higher. Let's say we work with 12. Where in here is this? Okay, the rectangle linear repeat is, let's make this, that'll be correct. Let's just come in
Your
here
floor is so
and
clean, familiar.
adjust this to be
Tu piso está tan limpio.
frame num +1 minus rip. So if I want to increase this, let's make it 12. That makes for 6 of these. I shouldn't need 6. Let's come to this and okay. Also, let me come in here and put a rectangle that is oh, that's its own little issue. I didn't think about the tab. Because I need just like a gluing overlap. I'm just going to use clear paper or clear tape on the backing and cut it up a little. Problem solving as time goes along. Or I could where is the just give myself a little bit more clearance here. Actually, I don't need on that one, I need on this one. It's gonna make it look worse, but whatever. Gives me just a little bit of clearance. Where do I want to throw this rectangle? This is going to be, origin is -0.5. That's 0, position is X. Minus frame width divided by 2. This height is 0. The width is connection tab length divided by 2. And paper height minus connection tab length, just so I know where it is. And
Este estado tiene tanta
let's throw
madera
this in
como
here.
California.
And
I
that
don't
should
like
be present
plastic
for
as
all of
much
these.
as wood.
Frame
No me
number.
gusta el plástico tanto como la madera.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this 2 and 2. I think it just looks a little better. And now I need this weird bit, which is position is 0, 0. Scale is pinhole times 2. Connection tab length times 2. Makes it half an inch. The position is negative 0.5, negative 0.5, and 10.25. I'm just gonna do this here. Modify linear repeat. Displacement 10.25 divided by frame num. And frame num.
S.
This t-shirt is less bright than mine.
Boolean union.
Esta camiseta es menos alegre que la mía.
And now this is -1. Nope. -1. Negative 0.75. 0. Paper length 0. Modify linear repeat 0. Paper height times 2. 3 instances. Customize each repetition. This stroke is going to be edit expression 1. Point 25 plus 0.25 times rep. Those are their own guys. And let's come in here. You know what? Let's just build it in here. Let me take this guy, copy, paste, and the position on this is going to be
This is my younger
change the
brother.
little
Este es mi hermano menor.
position is paper height divided by 2, except that's the wrong one. That's 0. Paper height divided by 2. And we're going to make this linear repetition be active animation length divided by frame number. Repetition is frame number, that's fine. Throw this in here. And if I want to operate these as their own individual, that's fine. If I want to just paper height, whoa. That's an issue. The linear repeat on this guy is paper height plus paper length divided by pi divided by 2 plus connection tab length. Let's just do that and copy that to this line. And that's just a safety thing if I want to adjust the paper height to a shorter height. And now let's come to group 4, change the fill, edit this expression, and make this, do I have ring num? Okay, so that should actually be the linear repeat for this guy. Oh, and I don't need this anymore. Linear repeat should be ring num. Ring number. Okay. This should work, but I'm just sort of in my head about it. Okay, let's change this color.
Sus sostenes son
Edit expression.
elegantísimos.
1 divided by ring num plus 1 divided by ring num times rip. Could not find rip because don't need this bit. Okay, this can be its own thing. Don't need this group. I just need this component to have a fill. And now let's change this color. Edit expression. 1 divided by ring num plus 1 divided by ring num times rip. That'll get us some amount of color for each of these. Let's make this just 1. Actually, let's make this 0. And I think I'm good. think I'm okay. What is this looking like? 0.1, negative 0.75, paper length, minus 0.75. Paper length minus 0.5. Line. Oh, that's fine. I want this one to get to what it is, which is, and let's see, should be minus 0.7. I think I'm in the clear. It's not super important then that hits the full bit. This should work. I think I'm good. Modify, export, SVG for Cricut. Download that, and let's try and cut this out.
Lesson 106. The present subjunctive of regular verbs.
Lección 106. El presente de subjuntivo de verbos regulares.
Okay.
I don't
Why
want you to
Cricut
deceive
doesn't.
me.
It takes forever to like
Familiar.
open a new project.
Yo no quiero que tú me engañes.
Let me try closing out of this. Come over here. Mute this guy. Come over to Firefox. Close out of this. Cricut. Upload an image. Browse. Let's group. Attach this. This basic cut should actually be a score line. And can I rotate this? Let's see about getting this guy a little bit shorter. Attach these bad boys. And 180 on that guy.
No
At
examinéis
the
mis
very least, I
maletas.
should be able to decrease this overall
Yo
scope of
prefiero que
things.
vosotros no examinéis mis maletas.
Let me come in here. This should not be a basic cut.
I
These
fear
should
that
both
you
be
depend
score
too much on
lines.
me. Familiar.
And
Yo
let's
temo
see
que tú
about
dependas demasiado en mí.
this guy being the same color. Not that one. Let's make this dark blue. Score, score, score. That's its own guy. Can I fit this? I should be able to fit this. By 11. Yeah, I didn't even need to turn it. So 8.5 by 11 as well. Okay. Continue. Medium cardstock. More pressure. Edit tools. Scoring stylus. Apply. Okay, back to OBS. And I'm gonna look at what's happening on my phone.
El presente de subjuntivo de verbos irregulares.
I wish that they would look for my money.
Deseo que ellos busquen mi dinero.
Okay, now stuff's cutting out. I'm gonna photograph this one a little bit more intently than I did with the other previous ones. There's OBS. Let's take a minute to cut. It says it's almost done cutting, but that's a lie. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. Dum, ba, dum, bum, bum. Cricket, still
Hear his
cutting.
idea.
OBS. Is Photoshop open? It
Él
doesn't have
quiere
anything
que ellos
running.
oigan su idea.
Let's come here and turn it on so there's something there. And let's make a new guy that's just, sure, this size. Alright, so it's hard to really talk about what's happening, but I'm making something where the paper folds and creates 3 concentric circles. And the animation in its current state is a bunch of circles. And the time that it takes to animate one of these, the outermost, it will take 9 frames. It says frames. To do it takes 9 frames. It's split up into 9 pieces. So the placement of each of these frames is 360 degrees divided by 9 means that it is 40 degrees rotation between point, point, point. But what this is actually built for and how it will animate is 8 frames, which is what the second guy has. So that will just have the animation happening. It'll kind of look like it's stationary, like it's not spinning. This outermost one will look like it's spinning in one direction. This innermost one, which I am not 100% sure on the clearance that I've actually made. It's not a whole lot of clearance, but it should fit one inside the other because they're smaller. And if I'm wrong, it's a lesson learned. That one will have the animation of these little circles looking like it's stationary. The centermost one will have the animation happening, but it'll look like it's going the opposite direction. This guy's still cutting. This is a learning process for me. Anyway, this is what we're looking at. And because there are holes cut in, you'll be able to see into it. I don't know how well.
Dicen que nosotros tengamos paciencia.
They think that she is French.
Remember more.
Ellos piensan que ella es francesa.
Okay. Headphones on. Now I'm going to come to OBS, turn off Firefox. Let's pull this up a bit. Okay. So I will find out if this works. So here's this guy clearing off. And let's pull this guy off carefully because there's some delicate places. Okay. This will be front side, and let's do the same with this guy. Carefully remove.
Hay duda de que se vayan a España.
And I don't actually need all
Hay
these
duda de
tabs,
que
but it
se
was
vayan a
easier to
España.
set up
There is no doubt that they're going
to
to
be
Mexico.
responsive.
No hay duda de que se van a México.
All right. So let's tape these up.
Need some drinks for the party? Familiar, plural.
¿Necesitáis algunas bebidas para la fiesta? ¿Necesitáis algunas bebidas para la fiesta?
I need a good wine. Do you have one? Formal.
Necesito un buen vino. ¿Tiene usted alguno?
less stuff. Okay. So that is going this way.
We'll buy either a magazine or a newspaper.
Compraremos o una revista o un periódico.
Okay. It's a little too tight. For my liking.
Yo esperaba que tú me besarías esa noche. Yo esperaba que tú me besarías esa noche.
I didn't know how your parents would feel about us. Familiar.
Yo no sabía cómo se sentirían tus padres acerca de nosotros.
I don't know. See how it photographs. I'm not sure. I think this might be too much for this scale, but I'm going to photograph it and see how it goes.
Pero tú podrías ir con tu hermana.
It would be necessary to consult with the doctor.
Habría que consultar con el médico.
I'm not sure.
Trabajo muy duro para hacer más dinero.
They came by here in the afternoon.
Vinieron por aquí por la tarde. A Sevilla para las celebraciones de Semana Santa. Viajamos a Sevilla para las celebraciones de Semana Santa.
I walked along the beach and enjoyed myself.
Caminé por la playa y me divertí.
Okay, I think that this doesn't work in its current state. Having the concentric elements works okay, but anytime that I try to do anything that relies on paper sort of having and holding a shape with a bend rather than a fold, it doesn't quite work. It doesn't have a consistent enough structure about it. I think I could do this with more defined edges, meaning if I were to have this not be circles, but in this case, concentric octagons or something like that, I would be able to follow a design and have like exact distances. It works okay with one, not great with concentric and this form. The folds, a little inconsistent as well. So I'm going to pull these stills from the camera and just see how they behave. But once I'm done with that, I'm just going to revisit this tomorrow. And give this a minute to load stuff up. And so I'm just waiting on that. Waiting on it all to load. It'll take a minute because I got some photos on there currently. Oh, and the song stopped. Got distracted.
And now, from approximately coast to coast, Bob Elliott and Ray Goulding take
Getting
pleasure in
closer.
presenting
I
the
just need
Bob and
8
Ray
images,
Public
but
Radio
it takes a
Program.
minute. Because I got a bunch on there, it just loads them all.
Webley Webster here used to
I used to play
Like,
the organ when
that's-
you were on that radio station there in New York.
biggest hit was Jealousy, I remember.
Yes, sir. Big studio organ. I used to play
And
it
the
all
longest
the time.
introduction of any song.
Not many radio stations have a big pipe organ anymore. They just have these little
The
square
elect-
things.
well,
that
part of
Culver's playing.
Part of it's the financial thing, and these take up less room. You know, we're doing that. We want to welcome you to this Bob and Ray Public Radio Show, brought to you by our generous subscribers. Einbinder, the greatest name in flypaper. This year, more than ever before, make flypaper an important part of your life.
And, of course, by Monongahela, the metal foundry that casts its ingots with the housewife in mind.
We
Okay, they loaded. I got distracted. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. And let me come over to Finder, Desktop. Desktop, live designs. Copy. And this won't take long to transport, to download. It's just 8 of them. Video camera of this. Photoshop is open. Close that out. Come over to OBS. Open up Photoshop. Files, scripts, load files in a stack. Browse. Desktop, live designs, photos. Grab all these. Load them in. Wiggly. This is not going to be perfect, but it'll work as a means of conveying the concept. Okay, create frame animation, make frames from layers. It's very wiggly. Let's grab this down a little bit here and here. Leaving it wide there. Adjust this width to just be 960. Should be okay.
And Irma of the Rudolph and Irma Dance Studios. And if you have a dollar bill,
Any dollar bill,
that's green,
it entitles you to one free dance lesson at
Rudolph and Irma's Dance
Don't think this
Studios,
conveys
located
the
at 5913 Harper Street in Arverne, Long Island.
concept very clearly. Let's do get this syncing up, but I think it needs to be more. I think the layers are interesting, conceivably making it smaller circles as it's moving backwards is a possibility, or having them on a slight delay is an interesting concept, but I don't think that this is a particularly successful test. Concept is okay, but execution is lacking. Save it out. Just see where it's at. OBS. I want to see what it looks like playing back at full speed. Ooh. Too much happening here. It's far too, inconsistent for you to really be able to think or see or conceive of what's happening.
Did you want want to say that together with me?
Well, that's all right.
Togetherness is so important, though.
Yeah, especially in the dance business.
That's right.
This can work, but I don't think that paper is the format for it. It's not stable enough, or paper in this form. I don't think it's the way for it to go. Maybe it's ultimately just the structure of it being a little messy. This could probably benefit from placing it on something that doesn't have, like just putting it on top of a piece of paper and photographing it. Alright, I'll revisit this, but that's what I messed with today. Where is Photoshop? Turn on Photoshop. Anything that bends but doesn't fold, doesn't have secondary structural support, it's going to have inconsistencies about it. But I do want to figure out a carousel of sorts. Anyway, if you want to buy stuff from me, you can go to my web store, traceloops.com/store. If you want to purchase something and have it shipped outside of the US, you can email me, traceloops@traceloops.com. You can also email me with comments, concerns, questions, curiosities, commissions, etc., etc. Again, that is traceloops@traceloops.com. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/traceloops, where you'll find high-resolution versions of artwork that I create during streams. You'll also find a selection of tutorials. And at higher tiers, new songs from me most days. Frequently at least. And then at higher tiers, you'll get stuff from me in the mail. That's patreon.com/traceloops. If you want to watch this stream or other streams in full, you can do so by going to the YouTube live section of my YouTube channel, youtube.com/traceloops. There's a bunch of stuff there, including today's stream, a couple days ago stream, so on and so forth. Yeah, thanks for watching. Gonna head out. Adios.